Here's how to get the Praxic Blade, aka the Lightsaber, in D2 Renegades. First of all, you're going to have to do the new Renegades campaign for a while until you reach quest step 33 of 45. Visit the Praxic Temple. The exotic mission starts off pretty tame, just go through and kill bad guys like you normally would. Eventually, you'll come to a room that has what looks like a darkness splinter. Go activate it to summon more bad guys. After slaying a couple bad guys, Dredge and Bale will give you a very emo speech, and then the game kinda doesn't tell you where to go. You actually have to fall down through a hidden hole in the floor located here in that structure. Jump on into that structure and fall down through the hole. Eventually, you'll reach a large outdoor jumping puzzle area. Tread carefully because when you reach this large wall out here, it'll have the wall mechanic from the Taken King raid. Basically meaning if you get too close, the wall will activate and push out and try to shove you off the map. Here's the trick to doing this part. When you get to the midway staircase section about here, do as follows. Crouch, hug the wall, and pause to avoid the wall shoving you out along the way. When you get to the very end, I know it looks like this ledge right here is too thin to walk on, but you actually can walk on it. Walk all the way out and hug the wall to the left. Then turn around and jump out to that floating rock way out there. When you land on the rock, turn back around and jump in the direction you just came from. You're essentially jumping back to the wall area, but now you're up a floor higher. Be careful and hug the wall, and then when you get to right about here, turn right and take the passageway into the wall. This part is tricky. Take the staircase up and you will see a symbol on the floor. If you stand on it, the floor will suddenly begin to disappear and you'll sink through the floor. At first, it kind of seems like you're going the right way. There are more symbols, and as you approach, the wall begins to disappear and you'll keep going forward until you realize that you've just done a small loop and you're right back where you started. Here's the trick, and I think you might need to do a full loop before doing this, not really sure. But when you're walking up that original staircase, before you even get to that first symbol that makes the floor vanish, just turn right and you'll see that there's actually a super thin hallway to the right. You just go in there to get out of the room. Be careful. The walls will shove and attack you here as well, but they only do it once. So once the walls have pushed their way out, you can now jump up on top of them. Jump your way to the staircase at the other end of the hallway, then keep jumping and climbing up on the stones, turning back around the way you came. Navigate your way through this weird crouching area until you reach about here, then fall down and keep crouch walking. You'll now find yourself in an area where many sections of the floor will start vanishing under your feet. At first, it looks like the path out is easy, but you'll learn that as you try to escape, certain doorways are actually blocked, but they don't appear to be blocked until you're like 2 inches away. Here is the correct pathway to get through. When you're out of that weird puzzle area, start jumping up on these small wall ledges. Jump way over to that door frame over there, and then jump to these very small ledges, again, making your way up. You're pretty much jumping back over the vanishing floor puzzle you were just running through a minute ago. Eventually, you'll reach a thin ledge, and you'll see this, a glowing white doorway off to the right. Jump over into that doorway, head forward, shoot the little taken nut thingy, and go quickly, because as you will notice, there are symbols on the ledges out here, meaning the floor will start to vanish under your feet as you go. When you finally get to the area where the floor stops vanishing, just continue following the jumping puzzle, looking for whatever the next ledge is. When you see that illuminated platform down there, go jump to it, and when you land there, turn left and head into the structure. Now start jumping upwards, taking the platforms, watch out for the taken boop thingies. You'll find yourself back outside, and now very carefully jump to those thin ledges until you eventually reach a large, safe landing area and another darkness splinter, or whatever the hell you call it. Head in through the portal, and now you're at fight number 1 of 2. These fights have a weird mechanic. If you look up in the air, you'll see large circles. There are 4 in this room. 2 are white and 2 are black. You need to get orbs to spawn from yellow bar enemies, and then you have to throw orbs of the matching color at those large circles. Each time you do that, the circle will get slightly larger. But the trick is you have to do it evenly, meaning you can't just throw all 4 orbs at one floating circle right away. You need to expand all of them kinda evenly. For example, we throw 2 white orbs at the floating white circle. It grows in size twice. And then before we throw any more orbs at that particular circle, we take our remaining orb and throw it at the other floating white circle. Again, you want to make them all grow, but you want to do it evenly. The other trick to this mechanic is getting the right color orbs to spawn. As I mentioned, there are unique yellow bar enemies in this encounter, Cabal and Taken. When you kill either, you'll see a message on your HUD HUD, indicating you currently have their buff. Depending on your buff and depending what yellow bar you kill next, that determines what the color of the orbs will be. Killing a matching enemy will spawn light orbs. Killing the opposite enemy will spawn dark. For example, I kill a cleaved Taken Centurion, and now I have Taken Energy Cleaved indicated on my HUD. If I were to kill another cleaved Taken Centurion, it would drop light orbs. But if I were to kill a cleaved Imperium Centurion instead, aka a Cabal, it would drop dark orbs. Keep throwing orbs at the floating circles, being sure to match the colors until all 4 floating circles are now full. Head through the portal into the final room. Now you have a boss fight with a similar mechanic. Keep damaging the boss as he goes around the room. You may need to occasionally enter an orange Cabal bubble and destroy the device in the center to continue. Eventually, the boss will become damage gated. Now you'll need to enlarge the floating orbs in the room like you did before, only the trick here is the special Cabal and the special Taken yellow bars that spawn orbs spawn in one at a time, and you control when they spawn. You do that by activating a small floating darkness splinter way up by the ceiling on a floating platform. Whenever you activate that button, you spawn in a new wave of yellow bar Taken or Cabal. They go back and forth. For example, I need black orbs, so I kill the yellow bar Taken Centurion and take his Taken Energy Cleaved buff. Now I tell my teammate to jump up and hit the switch, which spawns in a Cabal Centurion, and when I kill him, he drops dark orbs. Exact same mechanic as before. Enlarge the floating orbs until they're both full, then finish damaging the boss until he's dead. Hit the like button if you found this guide easy to understand. More Renegades content on the way. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.